It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And coming up in just a bit, tip-off will be live from New Orleans as the Pelicans go up against the Memphis Grizzlies. And for Memphis, they seem to be tapping into their full potential more and more as the season moves along. I think lately, we're seeing a more accurate picture of who this team really is than we saw in the early part of the season. Look at the numbers DeMarcus Cousins has put up the last few seasons. Just astounding. The scoring, the rebounding. How about the defense?
Well, I think he's still one of the best true big men who plays inside the paint and as a three-pointer, but does most of his damage inside like big guys are supposed to do.
Well, you know what? You can't deal with his size and strength. That's the one thing. There's very few guys can do that. Emotionally, if he stays on course, he could be one of the greats that ever played this game. You don't believe that?
What happened?
Okay.
Time for tip-off. We send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Is yours, is mine. And look at the time. My God. So precious. Is yours, is mine.
New Orleans, land of the Pelicans, in a fine Western Conference battle at the New Orleans Arena. With Brent Barry and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan, and David Aldridge will be joining us on the sideline as well. And the Grizzlies on a single-game road trip here before heading back home. They've been playing very well lately. It's been 4 wins for them in their last 5 games.
Yeah, and to say these guys are hot right now would be putting it mildly. They've come into this game playing arguably the best basketball of anybody in the league.
Yeah, the system and their execution, everything for them has been in sync.
Let's quickly get a pregame update from David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Alvin Gentry.
Well, guys, when I asked him what impressed him the most about today's opponent, he immediately referred to the explosiveness on their offense. He said they have so many different ways to hurt you that it's impossible to take away everything. It's just about damage control. He acknowledged they've got a big job to do defensively. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David. Now, Brent, we're far enough into the season where certain rookies are starting to hit the wall. What can coaches do to stop that process or help them through that process of that rookie, that so-called rookie wall?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, Kevin, there's not much a coach can do for a player. And I'll tell you, I've seen it where years a player after 41 games is gassed. And certainly over the course of the past few years, I've seen plenty of rookies not be phased at all. So it just depends on the makeup of the guy and what he's been asked to do. I don't know that there's too much a coach can really get into the head of a player on, other than trying to keep him confident.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. In the post, it's Green and Gasol together. Evans out there with Harrison, and it's Brooks in at the small forward. Here's Harrison. Misses the 3. Last outing for the New Orleans Pelicans. It was a loss to the Atlanta Hawks.
You know, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
Yeah, it just looked like, and I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but just never comfortable in this game. And the line certainly is one of those places where that could show up.
And here are the Grizzlies now, following the score by New Orleans. Back to Brooks. Shoots the 3. Cousins pulls it in. Here's Davis. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one's on Evans.
Great effort from Anthony Davis to take the hit and drag himself to the free throw line. When Anthony Davis came into the NBA, you started to think about how he could dominate on the post, but it's really the growth in him as a shooter to stretch it out, shoot three-point shots that really has opened up some eyes.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And Davis changed his whole shooting form in New Orleans. He used to shoot from his chest. It blocked his view of the basket.
That's never a good thing. That's your target. So shifting it over on the right side, more towards the shoulder, raising up so that he's got a more clear shooting window. That takes a lot of diligent work, Kevin, and a lot of players try their whole career to fix a shot that's failed. I think AD has done a good job of not only committing to it, but finding success with the new form. Anthony Davis, the first overall pick of the 2012 NBA draft. This guy just gives you superstar production from the outset of his career. Just started dominating the league. So you think about when he's not getting double and triple team as the roster builds around him, what kind of MVP numbers potentially he'll be putting up for years to come.
Memphis has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
I'm not sure if it's a bad start or unlucky here. 0 for 4. Can't think too much about it. Just got to get that first one to go.
And for Davis, he might have won an MVP trophy already if he had more talent around him.
Yeah, that's just something, Kevin, he flat out cannot control. You think about his first 5 seasons so far in New Orleans. A lot of change, a lot of turmoil, a lot of different guys pulling on that jersey. It'll be fascinating to see if at some point they can get solid around Anthony Davis, who we know is an MVP caliber player.
It's stolen by Davis. And now Davis pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Well, you know his defensive instincts just keep getting better and better. Swiped that ball and took it mostly uncontested all the way down the floor.
For Memphis, they've gone 0-5 here to start the game. Rough start for them. Harrison kicks to Green. Here's Harrison. He's guarded by Davis. Poked loose. There's the pass to Harrison. And another miss by Memphis.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Enjoyed that unselfish play from Holiday for that swing pass to the open teammate.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Green with a screen on run. Evans kicks to Harrison. Back to Evans. Pass to Harrison. 6 to shoot. From deep, Gasol. And another miss by Memphis. And here are the Pelicans. A 12-0 run right now and counting. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. There's the call. Memphis gets the foul.
Foul. 2.
The Pelicans have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. At the line for 2.
Two shots.
And that one falls for Anthony Davis. And from the day that Anthony Davis was drafted, New Orleans had a win-now mindset.
Well, that's what the decree from the upper management was. And maybe a little bit unfair to put that kind of pressure on such a young superstar talent who wanted to find his way in the NBA. The front office focused on making some trades and surrounding him right away without understanding exactly what Anthony Davis was going to be good at. Let's face it, he's still great, and there's still that opportunity for AD.
And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's his first foul. So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
And one thing they'll discuss are the defensive rotations. The other is in the matchups.
We're seeing very little help defense on the inside, and even when there is help, it's been ineffective.
Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Grizzlies.
And they concentrated a lot on creating open looks from beyond the arc. Player movement, finding space on the perimeter, that was their number one priority.
Evans with it. He's picked up by Rondo. On the wing, Brooks. 6 on the shot clock. That's good from Gasol on the assist by Brooks.
And through the years, he's become very confident in that shot. Gasol's almost better from mid-range than he is in tight. That's a great weapon for a 7-footer to have. Yeah, a big part of this run here has been their ability to score from mid-range.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Here's Rondo. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Here's Harrison. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Sacramento. Pass to Gasol. Over Rondo. And off the front iron, and in it goes.
And he knows how to make good use of his size in that low block. And Gasol's inside game is very refined. There's a smoothness to how he approaches it.
Harrison passes to Evans. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Green kicks to Gasol. Back to Green. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Green's got his first basket. New Orleans with the ball. They're on a 17-6 run. And Davis gets it to go.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Evans against Rondo. From deep, Green. Can't hit that one. New Orleans leading by 13. The 3. And Davis can't get it to go.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Harrison passes to Gasol. Again, Memphis.
No, right now he is locked in. He's getting great shots, and he's burning the D in a variety of ways.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
And so it's New Orleans with it. 11-point game. And Davis puts it in.
He's been on his A game, seeking good shots, and he's a huge reason why tonight they're winning.
It's stolen by Davis. Here we go, one-on-one. Offensive rebound. Rondo dishes to Moore. No good on the shot. Now the Grizzlies take it the other way. Here's Harrison. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. New Orleans leading by 11. New Orleans moving it around. They get it again. No good from Cousins.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Passes it to Harrison. Green kicks to Gasol. Over Holiday. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Here's Cousins. Keeps it alive. Green with the rebound. The Grizzlies trail by 11. Harrison passes to Evans. And the wide open shot from Green. Sinks the triple. Green's got his second bucket tonight. Well, for New Orleans, shooting 45% from the floor since the game got underway. And finished off by Davis.
Loving the intensity from the brow there. He threw that one down with some real force.
And so here's Memphis. Timeout called, the Grizzlies. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
And Brent, even though it might be somewhat counterintuitive, the numbers show that up-tempo styles are fairly high in efficiency. That may surprise some people. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think what gives in that scenario, Kevin, is it's so hard to scramble back with teams that are operating in the first 6 or 7 seconds of the shot clock to cover the three-point line. All of a sudden, you're running out to guys and opening up space in the interior. That's going to open up drive opportunities to the lane and easy layups. And where you see that most are big men who are getting taken advantage of by running back into the paint. Those threes are worth more than 2. That math class pays off.
It does. I can tell. New Orleans making some changes here. Cunningham, he's checked in for Davis. Darius Miller comes in for Ejuan Moore. And Nelson is subbed in for Rajon Rondo. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Jarrell Martin's checked in for Jermichael Green. James Ennis comes in for Brooks. McLemore's checked in for Harrison. And it's Chalmers in for Evans. Here's Cunningham. That one doesn't drop. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Last time they met was in Memphis.
And they scratched out a close win the last time these two teams met. I think their ability to attack and create foul trouble for the opposition was a real factor.
Well, it was, because they got to play a lot of the second half against the second unit. The guys that ordinarily would have been out there were stuck on the bench with all those fouls.
Here's Gasol. Following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. Rejected by Gasol. Ball's knocked loose. Ennis kicks to McLemore. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks. The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time he chose wisely.
Now here's Chalmers. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he plays with a bit of a sixth sense around the offensive glass. Perfect position for the easy tip-in.
Nelson, no luck. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Shot by Ennis. Nobody around. That one wide left.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yeah, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
The Grizzlies shooting it well so far today, guys. They've connected on 48% of their shots. To the inside, taken away by Holiday. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Yeah, Cousins does not mess around in the post. When he's got that kind of positioning, he's going to ram it home.
So it's the Grizzlies now. They trail by 7. Inside, Gasol. And finished off by Gasol.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
If anything could change the momentum, it's that kind of play. Cloud of smoke has people standing on their feet.
Here's Chalmers. Following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. Martin dishes to Gasol. The shot from the low post is good. Gasol's got 12 points in the game.
cannot give players that kind of positioning, and the defense also late in trying to alter that shot.
They grab their own miss, and that one good.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
The Grizzlies trail by 7. Now, here's Chalmers. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much elevation for Gasol to throw one down, of course, unless somebody's standing right in his way. That dunk is going to be easy money for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Here's Chalmers. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Count that one. 16 points for Marc Gasol.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And too long on the shot.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
Chalmers against Nelson. Chalmers passes to Gasol. Over Holiday. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And in today's NBA, how about the value in having a guy at the center who has the versatility and the skill set of a Marc Gasol? With his passing and shooting, and he becomes a great zone buster for any team.
First free throw is good. And Marc Gasol becoming more aggressive, looking for his own offense.
And I thought at times in the past he was unselfish to a fault. His teammates egged him on, told him you're the best center in the game, go out there and dominate. And now it seems like he's becoming more comfortable in his skin.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Omer Asher. He's checked in for Cunningham. And Ian Clark subbed in for Drew Holiday.
Such a big bonus to have a big guy that can step up to the free throw line and knock down shots. So many guys struggle from there.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Now here's Gasol. 18 points for him. Gasol is done. Over to the left wing. And Chalmers kicks to Gasol. Shoots over Asik. Gasol, no good. Pelicans leading by 5. Miller dishes to Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
The way that Cousins keeps that one in control, amazing job how he fights through the contact, something he is very used to.
Nelson against Chalmers. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock.
Oh, up high and down hard with that one-hander.
He got a little extra forceful. You're right with that one.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And to me, this is why they're winning, guys. Unlikely players stepping up huge against a defense that's really nowhere to be found.
And Nelson gets it to go.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
And Chalmers kicks to Ennis. From deep three-point range and released it in time, but it's off the mark. Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for the New Orleans Pelicans. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Pelicans, what do you guys think?
I mean, really good with their post presence, and it's really allowed them to establish a physical tone here in the first.
Well, they're attacking the rim in more than one way, and with that kind of success, you feel like the defense is going to make the adjustment. Then you start playing inside out.
The The Grizzlies trail by 9. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Chandler Parsons out there with Ennis. And it's Marc Gasol. Then it's Ben McLemore. And it's Chalmers in at the point guard position. Now here's Gasol. 6 to shoot. Off the mark and a bad shot there. Oh, and here we go. Nelson's got it. The fast break chance. Took him no time at all on that one. Miller's got the first basket of the second quarter for New Orleans.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. They always attempt to wear you out.
That one's good. The New Orleans lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Chalmers. And it's Miller penetrating. Good, and a nice assist from Nelson. Nelson's got 5 assists in the game.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
And Chalmers kicks to Ennis. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Chalmers' shot is no good. New Orleans leading by 10. And it's Miller penetrating. Nelson kicks to Clark. To the inside. Cousins. It's stolen by McLemore. He feeds it to Chalmers. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. The free throw drops for Chalmers. Right, you've certainly been in the public eye for a while as a player, as a broadcaster, an actor in the Jerry Maguire movie. Is there anything else on...
So kind of you, Kevin, to bring that up.
I'm just reading the list here, Brent. Is there anything else on camera that you'd really like to do?
Oh, I was in a Coolio video. I don't know if you knew that, Kevin. Coolio made a music video, and I was asked to come down to the studio with the late Malik Sealy, and him and I actually were in the video for the movie's primetime song.
No kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, fun.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
The Grizzlies trail by 11. McLemore, the pass to Evans. And Parsons kicks to Evans. Over to the wing. Parsons outside. This one for 3. Offensive rebound. Green, no luck. The Pelicans have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Davis. The putback. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Davis.
This is the shot chart of a dominant performance. I mean, he's taking a lot of shots because right now he believes that every shot he does take is going in. And who can blame him with the way he's played? Simply outstanding work coming from him.
Rajon Rondo's checked in for the Pelicans. On the wing, Brooks. And again, Memphis no good. New Orleans leading by 11. Ashik dishes to Davis. And Davis throws it down hard.
What a throw down by AD. He really rocks the rim with that one.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Timeout called, the Grizzlies. Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
And the defense has not provided any threat to stop him out there, so it should come to no surprise that he continues to attack the basket.
Harrison's checked in for McLemore.
A moment now to see the numbers for Harrison. He's averaging about 7 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
It's Davis with the drop, and it's Davis with the jam.
Well, as soon as AD takes off on the drive, you just know he's going to finish it.
And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. To the left side wing. Nobody near Parsons. Drills the three-pointer. Parsons got 5 points now this quarter.
You just can't allow good looks like that from beyond the arc. That's just inviting all kinds of trouble.
And Davis gets it to go.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
The Grizzlies trail by 12. Parsons for 3. Ashik comes up with the rebound. Ashik's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Here's Davis. Goes back up, and he sinks the layup. Davis has got 29.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
That shot wide open.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And it's slammed in by Davis.
And it seems like everything Anthony Davis is touching is turning to gold. And by gold, Kevin, I mean 2 points.
The Grizzlies have gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Now let's go to the 2K leaderboard to look at the teams that specialize in intimidation. 5th best, the Grizzlies.
I mean, terrific rim protection. I mean, they rotate and help on the inside as well as anybody. And, of course, you want to keep offenses on the outside shooting jump shots, and that continues to be the goal.
Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Rondo's got 5 assists tonight.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams. And continuity is one thing that lends itself to winning. You see that in Memphis, that their key players in Gasol and Conley, these guys are all getting it done.
And this is why Evans is such a crucial player for his team. His ability to read the floor and find his teammates wide open keeps the offense flowing.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Outside, Green. Feeds to Brooks. The pass to Harrison. Memphis moving that ball around. Off target from three-point range.
Well, he's gotten shots up, but they're not finding the rim. The squad's suffering because of it right now, a bit out of rhythm.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You gotta love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
Well, also like the adjustments that they've made. Each time they're defended a little bit differently, they seem to have the answer for it.
It's tipped. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And a quick review, looking at some numbers here for Moore. 6th in three-point field goal percentage, and with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And back to his efficiency from 3, as you said, he's top 10 in the league. Defenses are now trying to deny him the basketball, but really to no avail.
Yeah, and Rondo just working the ball around there. He loves finding his teammates when they're open in the sweet spots.
Brooks with no one around. The Grizzlies with another miss. New Orleans leading by 19 points. Davis tries again, and it's good on the layup. Davis has got 37.
Oh, the Brow doing a good job of reading and being aggressive after the read. Excellent at hitting the glass with the length that he has.
Here's Harrison. He's got 5. To the inside, and he uses the glass on the layup. And it's 9 points for Chandler Parsons.
Well, if they're going to win this game, he's going to require just a little bit of help. Many of the shots he's taking are finding the hoop.
Davis with the bucket.
Defense maybe got away with a foul there, but AD too good for their best efforts with that shot.
It's stolen by Davis. And pushing it up, here's New Orleans. And it's Davis with the jam.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Here's Green. And he banks in the layup. Green's got 4 points in the quarter.
I like the physicality there on the glass on full display. Great at hitting the boards and then capitalizing off the second chance opportunity.
And just keeping his teammates involved. This is the kind of leadership you like to see.
Well, you could trademark this brand of basketball, running through the progressions and working around for decent looks.
Here's Green, following the score by New Orleans. Trains the three-pointer. Harrison's got 8 points.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
Here's Hushik. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now here's Evans. 14 points from him the last game against Sacramento.
Well, I think he was especially impressive on the glass. The defense had no idea what to do with him.
New Orleans leading by 20. Davis with it. Now guarded by Parsons. The Grizzlies shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Here's Harrison. And a miss there on the triple. The Pelicans shooting so well, 63%. The offense working as one cohesive unit.
Are there any questions as to why this guy is an all-star? His ability to fight through contact and hit the shot is world class.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
And Green slams it in.
And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous athletic ability.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. Hey, Brent, what's more important, offense or defense? Some guys are great at both.
Well, offense is sometimes what you get paid for, Kevin, but defense is where you need a buy-in. And so to me, it's always the defense and the way that you construct that camaraderie on that end of the floor, that communication on that end of the floor that's going to make the difference in your season.
Don't you love two-way players, though, guys that play hard at both ends? It's hard to do, but the guys that do it well really stand out.
Well, it's not football, Kevin. There's two sides that you have to play in basketball, and certainly the more equipped that you are to play both, the more playing time you're going to see for a coach.
Platoon swap here for New Orleans. The Grizzlies also changing it up. Marcus All's checked in for Jermichael Green. Jarrell Martin comes in for Chandler Parsons. And it's Ennis in for Andrew Harrison. Now here is Holiday. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta. Here is Cunningham, covered by Martin. Gasol with the steal. Brooks against Miller. Brooks kicks to Ennis. At the elbow, it's Gasol. Nelson against Evans. Here's Cunningham. Second shot opportunity. And Cousins with the lay-in. Cousins has got 18 points.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Stolen by Holiday. And now the Pelicans on the break. Holiday with the ball. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. And for Memphis, they're shooting 52% from the floor. Nice work so far from them. And it's Brooks in the corner. Holiday goes in. That's good. It's Miller with the assist.
Well, Holiday looking comfortable there when he gets in close.
A challenging stretch here for Memphis. Gasol a screen. Brooks outside. Back to Ennis, and it's out of bounds to the Pelicans. And we've watched a pretty interesting season unfolding in the Western Conference, guys. Let's check out the standings here. You look at the Pelicans. They're down at the 7th position right now. Decent start to the season, but they're looking to make a move. And, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies. Right now, they're 5 spots below them.
And I think for New Orleans, they've basically lived up to the expectations so far this season. And that's not really good news for their fan base because those expectations only had them on the brink of the playoffs.
Unfortunately, those expectations were right on the money. They just weren't ready to join that elite group of teams at the top of this league. And they're still in the playoff picture, and we all know anything can happen in the postseason.
And he's good on the 3-ball.
Sometimes trailing in the game, players get sucked into trying to make that home run play.
And Cousins throws it down.
You know, I don't know how much more we can laud the play of DeMarcus Cousins, but when he's on a roll like this, he is something to watch.
Guys, nothing has really come easy for him today.
Yeah, definitely not their best basketball.
The finish, and Cousins throws it down.
You have two things working here, the turnover and then the excellent finish.
And good job of transitioning end to end there. There was no hesitation.
Here's Gasol. Kicks it out to Evans. Fires from deep. Grizzlies with a fresh shot clock. Martin with the bucket. Here is Nelson. He averages about 5 points a game. Here's Cunningham. And the shot falls short this time.
Just not his night so far, guys.
Brooks kicks to Evans. Gasol wide open. He fires. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. And the Grizzlies with some changes. Ben McLemore comes in for Brooks. And it's Chalmers in for Tyreke Evans. The Pelicans shooting so well, 63%. The offense working as one cohesive unit. Gasol with the steal. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. And Chalmers kicks to Martin.
Down, Martin.
Miller with the double team. From outside the arc. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cousins has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And Cunningham is just an athletic big man who knows how to get to the free throw line.
The Pelicans have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. At the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Cunningham. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Chalmers doesn't get it to drop for him. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. New Orleans on top, running away with it. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, you're leading at the half. What will you continue to emphasize to your team?
Well, I mean, defensively, we still have to be good. We got to rebound the basketball. And then we've got to continue to push the basketball and score offensively.
We'll see if you can keep that going in the second half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. A tremendous game we're seeing from Anthony Davis. He went on an historic scoring frenzy, tallying a ridiculous number of points, 3 steals, and 5 rebounds. He's clearly shaken off his mediocre performance from their last game as he has been dominant in the first half tonight. Kenny, your thoughts? How the Pelicans are playing?
Power of the brow, brother. Anthony Davis completely unstoppable in the first half. Already an elite finisher, he's now creating for himself more. When healthy, he's one of the top 3 bigs in the game.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
The first thing to say is, what's up with the turnovers? Jeez. You can live with some missed shots and stuff like that, but you can't keep turning the ball over. It's crushing for a team. It just saps all your confidence when you play a half like that, Ernie. Ugh.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, the rebounding, particularly on the offensive side, as good as it gets. He was bringing the effort down low.
Yeah, those extra possessions, considering how hard it can be sometimes to find offense, become invaluable.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. The bigs inside, Davis and Cousins. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Moore in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the group out there for New Orleans.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over. And you think about it, for so long, the Grizzlies were kind of the throwback team. I mean, they had the 2 bangers in the front court, and they really rejected that whole pace and space movement. But finally, they've come around, retooling their lineups to get more shooting on the floor.
And so it's New Orleans with it, following the score by Memphis. Davis, and finished off by Davis.
Sometimes Cousins, with how well he sees the floor, has those bullet passes. That one on a string.
The Grizzlies on offense. Evans with it. He's picked up by Rondo. It's stolen by Davis. And finished off by Davis.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Terrific anticipation, using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Here's Green, following the score by New Orleans. Here's Harrison. 8 points for him. Rondo on the double team. 4 on the shot clock. And it's off from three-point range. And Greg, you look at the changes for the Grizzlies, looking for versatility and adaptability in their players.
Yeah, grit and grind, still the identity, but you got to be able to space the floor and cover pick and rolls. The era of a post-up centric basketball team doesn't seem to be in the future.
And it's Green missing. For New Orleans, they've gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter. And it's Davis missing.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Evans passes to Harrison. Back to Evans. Over Rondo. Nice shot by Evans.
That's a nice touch on the mid-range jumper from Evans. Got to guard him there.
Rondo kicks to Moore. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Moore's got his second basket of the night.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Pass to Harrison. Dives for it. Stolen by Holiday. And now Moore pushing it up. No one.
Well, Drew not giving the opposition a holiday, ultimately leading to a simple finish on the other end of the floor.
Memphis has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Evans dishes to Brooks. Evans passes to Harrison. Memphis moving it around. Brooks for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Brooks has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. The shot by Evans, nobody around. Offline with his 3. And Holiday kicks to Davis. He slams it down right on top of Jermichael Green.
Whenever AD is floating around the basket like he was there, you know if he gets the ball, he's going to go for the jam.
Memphis has gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Evans dishes to Gasol. Evans right side. Evans can't get that one to fall. For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
And a story of two halves last season for the Pelicans. An 0-8 start, but encouraging signs, Brent, down the stretch.
Yeah, they ended up with the 11th best net rating in the NBA after they made the trade during the All-Star weekend for DeMarcus Cousins. So if this team can gel and if they can get these pieces to work together, they do have the chance not only to excel, but to be very special with the unique talents of their bigs.
NBA official, NBA referee, Brent, has to be one of the toughest jobs in the world. There's been a lot of talk about adding an official to the court. Would that make a difference?
You know, I'm thinking, Kevin, that's like asking 4 of my buddies to add a 5th guy to go out and they're all single. That means there's another guy I got to compete with. So maybe we don't have another set of eyes on the NBA game. Lots of physicality, lots of pushing and shoving. You may see more foul calling, which will slow down the tempo and the rhythm of the game. I'm not sure that's the best idea for the league.
So then adding the Secaucus and the extra eyes in New York to look at calls, I think that might take the place of adding the official.
I think the league has done a great job, Kevin. Having Secaucus now have the ability to make some of those calls to help speed up what we do with regards to the replay.
Parsons outside. Davis with the double team. Moore with the steal. And now here's Davis, the fast break opportunity. And it's slammed in by Davis.
We tend to forget that AD started out as a point guard when he was in high school, showing off his speed and ability in the open court on that break.
Grizzlies have gone even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Harrison kicks to Green. And it's Evans in the corner. Another shot. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
Ooh, the D did just enough to keep him from scoring. Thought that was in for sure.
Moore with the bucket. Moore's got 6 in the quarter.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Inside, here's Parsons. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Evans has got 5 assists in the game. Guys, some great passing from him.
Yeah, everybody's touching it, and you're starting to see the assists pile up because the rhythm is on display offensively.
Parsons against Moore, and that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. And a chance now to review the shot chart for Memphis.
And it's really been a tremendous night. He's been efficient. He's been a major driving force in this offense. And it's no small task to try to slow him down. Once he gets rolling, like we've seen in this game so far, watch out.
Here's Harrison. He's got 8. The dish now to Evans. To the paint.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Can't hit from the low block. Here's Davis. Basket good.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
The Grizzlies have gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. Evans with it. He's picked up by Rondo. No good from Gasol.
Were those guys back on defense? I didn't see him. Somehow someone missed an assignment. Luckily, he bricked the mid-range.
Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers with the size and activity of Cousins. Just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
And that one falls for Anthony Davis.
And the Pelicans might have the most formidable front court tandem in the NBA, DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, some calling them Fire and Ice. Gee, I wonder who Fire is.
New Orleans making a switch here. Cunningham's checked in. Ben McLemore, he's checked in for Memphis. Chalmers comes in for Tyreke Evans. And so Anthony Davis nails both of them. And the Pelicans, Brent, had flirted with small ball. How's the fit between Cousins and Davis?
Well, it does help out that both of these guys are so talented and capable of shooting the basketball as big men. But I think AD plays better off the ball and not really force-feeding him. DeMarcus is just the opposite. He's got to have the ball in his hands to make plays. So we'll see how they end up working this thing out. They could still use some perimeter shooting because of the attention that these two big guys are going to draw on a nightly basis.
The Grizzlies shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one.
Funny, for so long, Brother Powell was thought to have the much better career, but Mark has made the gap between them all the more closer.
Darius Miller, he's checked in for New Orleans. Nelson comes in for Ejuan Moore. Jarrell Martin's checked in for Memphis. He hits both from the stripe. And the Grizzlies enjoying the longest stretch of sustained success in franchise history. Greg, 7 consecutive seasons making the postseason.
And this group has gotten as far as the Western Conference Finals. And a lot to be said for that consistency. But, of course, everyone's in this for the rings. Interesting to see where they go from here.
Oh, come on. Yeah, sometimes Cousins comes up with these dunks where you go, where did that come from? And there's one for you, wrapped up.
The Grizzlies shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. And Chalmers kicks to McLemore. Martin wide open. He fires. And it's off the back rim. No good. Here's Cousins. The second effort. And the layup is up and in. Cousins has got 4 this quarter.
A good activity as Cousins shuffled around, got himself into great position, and gobbled up that board.
And Chalmers kicks to Martin. McLemore, the pass to Gasol. Knocks down the 10-footer. Gasol's got 26.
Nice job operating in the mid-range, using his size advantage to rise up and fire over the defender.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up. Martin for 3. And it's Martin again missing. Well, for New Orleans, shooting has been just fantastic, around 65% tonight, getting exactly what they want when they want it. And here's McLemore. He dishes it to Parsons. Martin for 3, and it's Martin again missing. Here's Cunningham. Here's Cousins. And terrific work on the offensive glass when he picks up 2. And he has 28 points for the game.
Well, this is when the efficiency of DeMarcus Cousins goes through the roof. He gets that deep on the inside, and the defense cannot compete with it.
Gasol dishes to Martin. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
And so much of what Cousins does on the court is unstoppable. But at times, Brent, his leadership is something that can get in the way.
Well, I wouldn't technically call that leadership, Kevin. There are times where DeMarcus Cousins detracts from what it is as the ultimate goal of a team. In the early part of his career, created a bit of negativity around the atmosphere of what was going on. I think over the past couple years, he's been much better. He's got a new situation now and maybe a new lease on life.
And the first one at the line is good.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Ian Clark's checked in for New Orleans. And the Grizzlies also with a sub. Ennis is checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line.
Back to Cousins to the right side. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area. And every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
That free throw, no good. Omer Ashe, he's checked in for DeMarcus Cousins. Good on the second free throw.
And one difference this have is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
And the Grizzlies shooting right around 41% from the field in quarter 3. And it's Martin missing.
Yeah, tough with his shot so far off right now. They're going to have to tap someone else to step up until he finds it.
And that one is good. Cunningham's got 8.
Yeah, no question who's been the aggressor on the offensive glass.
Now Chalmers. Gasol kicks to McLemore. Chalmers passes to McLemore. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Man, it just hurts to miss shots like this. Mentally, you question yourself, and it can affect your confidence.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Chalmers with it. Outside Gasol. And they double up Gasol. Now, here's Chalmers. Knocks it loose. Nelson tipped back in for 2. Nelson's got his second bucket tonight.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip in. And Chalmers kicks to McLemore. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Chalmers has got his 7th assist in the game. And it's Miller penetrating. Oh,
goodness. I tell you what, you've got to build a wall around the bucket to keep this man from attacking.
And Greg, even then, he might just go over it. Check out the elevation he gets here. My goodness.
That's his first personal foul.
.119 left to play here in the third. Out to the right wing. Left side, Martin. He kicks it to McLemore. Out to the right wing. Ennis. Another shot.
And Ashik has a reputation for being a terrific defender. We saw it there on that contest. He makes it look effortless out there until the defense.
Whoa! Wow. Good look out. And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And then there's the other team. Can't say that about them. Big gap in the recent field goal percentage between these two squads.
Back to Chalmers. Here's Ennis. 6 points for him. Gasol, a screen on Miller. 5 on the clock. Oh, and here we go now with Miller. Nobody back. And Miller throws it down hard.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Ennis has gotten only 2 of his 8 attempts to fall from the floor. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. For New Orleans, they have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line.
Shooting one.
Here's Chalmers. Right side Gasol. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Gasol's got 14 points here in the second half. Here's Hasek. And the rebound goes to Martin. Martin's got 3 rebounds now in this one. 1 second left. Doesn't go for him. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And we'll be back with you shortly.
Voila. 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 Yeah. Voila.
Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
All right, guys, remember what we said now. Hey, play our basketball. We've been doing a great job. Let's keep it up, okay? Let's go now.
Alvin Gentry has found an identity that's working, and that makes everything a lot easier on both ends.
And collectively, you really need to remember what that feels like so you can recapture it if and when things start to get a little shaky. You want to be able to trust in who you are.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. Chalmers is out there with Selden. Then it's Ennis. Then there's Davis. And it's Martin in at the 4-man position. Down low. And then Hasek with the dunk.
How tough was that for Omer Hasek, getting close to the rim inside and making that one look easy?
Grizzlies shooting reasonably well, 45%. And it's Omer Hasek with the foul. That's his first foul. Such an adjustment for young players drafted into the NBA, managing money, being accountable to your teammates, to the many things that tug and pull on you. Brent, can the league do anything more to help them through this sometimes uncomfortable process?
I think the league does a great job, Kevin, of addressing these things, not only the NBA, but certainly the Players Association in terms of educating the players. To me, Kevin, as an ex-player, though, the biggest responsibility falls on the veteran players of that team to take a young player under their wing, to watch what it is that they're doing socially, and to make sure that they set them up for success off the court.
Selden passes to Davis. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Hasek. And Miller throws it down hard.
And that's what you want in transition, a high percentage opportunity.
The story is true, and here the defense does a very poor job of matching up.
Martin the screen. Knocked away. And stolen by Miller. And Miller throws it down hard.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Now, that's the attack mindset with which they entered the game with, and I wouldn't expect them to let up now.
And Chalmers kicks to Ennis. Martin from outside. Pelicans pull it in.
And you know what? If you're the defense, you got him right where you want him. Let him keep shooting those threes because he's been brutal in this half.
That one good for 2.
And every offensive board is an extra possession. If you're trying to compete from this far down, you cannot allow that.
Yeah, second chance points are demoralizing, especially after you worked hard to get the stop in the first place.
Chalmers' shot is no good.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
So, Brent, less than 0.1% of NBA fans bother to vote for the All-Star game. Do you think the league should devise a different way to choose the players for that big mid-season event?
I'd really like, again, this is an area, Kevin, that the league has done a great job of being a bit progressive with the way they've changed the All-Star balloting. 50% of the vote now going to the fans, 25% to the players, and 25% to the media. It's a way to make sure that guys who are having tremendous seasons are recognized both by their peers and their media rather than the fans getting ahead of some marketing scheme. So this has been addressed.
Perfect. And the Grizzlies with some changes. Wright, he's checked in for Martin, and Andrew Harrison subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Good on both. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Memphis moving it around. The Grizzlies with another miss.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
Knocks it loose. Here's Hushik.
That's his first personal foul.
Grizzlies have gone just 1 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. And it's Wright atop the key. Poked loose. One-on-one here. Here's Hushik. The Grizzlies pull it in. Ennis with the ball. He's picked up by James. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
That's his second personal foul.
Hey, Brent, we've seen Hall of Fame players become coaches, but often it seems like the smart role player, they sustain more success in that role of head coach. Why is that?
I think, Kevin, a lot of times the role player is a conduit between both ends of the spectrum of your team. He can communicate with the star player. He can also talk to the guy who's the 12th man on the bench and make sure that both of them are getting what it is that they need to be in the best position to succeed. That's why you see a lot of players in that middle ground who do a great job of becoming NBA coaches as they understand the role of each.
And the work ethic, too, because for role players, maybe it hasn't come as easy, whereas for a superstar, it was too easy.
That's true, Kevin. And how much work do you have to do with the most talented player on your team? It's pretty specific what his role is going to be. I think a role player who ends up being a coach understands the work dynamic of the rest of the team surrounding that player, create a great positive environment around your star.
Uses the glass to finish the layup. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Harrison kicks to Davis. Here's Selden. Jacks up a three. And another miss by Memphis. And the Pelicans with the possession. They're on a 14-1 run. Shots good by Miller.
No hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
Harrison kicks to Parsons. Here's Selden. And stolen by Miller. Here's Diallo. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
Harrison kicks to Selden. Davis, the pass to Harrison. They double him with James. Parsons for three. The shot missing. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. Diallo, no good. The Grizzlies shooting 43% for the game. Here's Harrison. The Grizzlies with another miss.
That's like milk on a hot day, just a bad decision. Absolutely no reason for him to be taking those shots.
And really the transition defense starting to let them down.
Diallo's gone 3 for 5 from the field. Harrison kicks to Parsons. Davis setting the pick for Parsons. Pass to Harrison. Three-pointer. Drains it from beyond the arc.
Yeah, you would think a coach might have talked to his defense about making the adjustment on him, but right now, he's just lighting him up. Yeah, the defense timed that out perfectly. Love the aggressiveness, and then they changed the shot's direction.
No good from Selden. New Orleans with the ball. They're on a 20-4 run right now. Miller with another miss. 3-on-3 from 10 feet out and off the front iron, and in it goes. Well, for New Orleans, shooting it well here in the fourth quarter, 50%. Shoots, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And we're seeing more athletes use cross-training to improve their strength and conditioning. Back in the day, did you play any sports outside of basketball to improve your results?
Kevin, if I asked you if surfing helped my basketball, would you say yes?
Well, in your regard, I would say yes. It did help balance, right?
Yes.
What about that?
Hey, I should have surfed a lot more then, Kevin.
Free throw good, Ashik.
At 7 feet, Ashik is known for his outstanding defense and ability to both block and alter shots.
Rajon Rondo is checked in for James. And Memphis also making a switch. Brooks checked in for Selden. And so Ashik nails both of them.
And they're doing a very good job at the line this half.
And here are the Grizzlies with it. Here's Harrison. Davis sets a screen. Some nice passing there by Memphis. It's good from long range. Harrison's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for Memphis.
Well, he now has 4 3-pointers this game, guys, 2 in each half. He's really spacing out the floor for his teammates.
I'd say that shot is well within his range.
I would hope so. Brooks outside. Outside, Davis. Brooks with it. He's picked up by Rondo. Parsons dishes to Brooks. That's in, coming off the assist from Parsons. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate.
That just happened.
And you can sense that Rondo taking some pride in shredding the D with his passing, has exceptional vision.
And for Memphis, they're shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Parsons for 3. Rondo with the rebound. Rondo's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Well, the D looks like they're laying off just a little bit. He made 1 3 in the first half, but they're still daring him to shoot, and he can't make them pay for it.
Harrison kicks to Parsons. Miller with the double team. Back to Parsons. Here's Harrison. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own. Harrison's got 9 points in the quarter. Ashik, no good. The Grizzlies shooting in the fourth quarter has looked shabby, 38%. A clear look for Parsons. Miller grabs the miss. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked.
And, you know, he's proven to be capable at sinking that mid-range jump shot. Rondo has to be respected from that part of the floor.
Harrison passes to Parsons. Rondo with the steal. And now here's Rondo, the fast break opportunity. Here's Miller. Goes back up, and it's good on the way in. Ashik's got 10 points here in the second half.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
And they double up Davis. Parsons outside. Out of bounds. New Orleans will take possession.
Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
Martin's checked in for the Grizzlies. Ennis comes in for Davis. And it's the Pelicans with the ball. No good from Clark.
It looked like he wanted no part of that. Superb defense there, really making it tough on him.
Kicks it to Martin. Here's Ennis. And again, Memphis no good.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories.
Here's Harrison. Parsons up top. Ennis in the corner. Off target from outside.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success. Well, I like the shot selection. I don't like the shot result. Won't happen much.
Brooks kicks to Ennis. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, not a bad time to be ripping the nets from distance, piling up some major points here.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Harrison kicks to Parsons. Misses the three.
You know, not sure if it's him or the defense, but just something's off tonight.
Well, something in this frame for sure, but when you're out of rhythm, sometimes it's better to play the role of being the facilitator.
Brooks outside. Hey, Brand, analytics more and more playing a part in the NBA, almost to the point where people now feel guilty taking mid-range jump shots because they know the higher percentage that exists. How far is too far in using these numbers?
Well, I think people mention it too much, Kevin, but they don't understand it enough. There's no doubt that analytics plays a huge part in what our game is today. Every team throughout the 30 in the league have several guys employed to look deep into these numbers. But the fact of the matter is, still the best shot in basketball is the dunk or the layup. Teams are still trying to get into the paint and get it done. And the three-point evolution is not going anywhere. So it's about understanding it. Right now we're at a good point. About 33% of shots taken right now are three-point shots. I think we're going to see it get close to 40.
Wow.
That's about the tipping point.
40%. New Orleans has gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for New Orleans.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Davis.
Well, he could not be stopped on offense. Super efficient tonight. There wasn't a lot the defense could do.
Clock at 2. Parsons. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're leading. 12 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And now that you can tell there's some bad blood here. They're just rubbing it in now by calling a timeout.
Or could be just wanting to execute well down the stretch. Don't want to leave any room for chance.
now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw dropper. It must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. Here's Clark. A beautiful reverse layup.
And this is how you close out a game, not taking any chances.
Yeah, you gotta be relentless in this game or the tide can turn on you. Not here, not tonight.
So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Anthony, tell us the focus for the team coming into the game tonight.
Well, before we started the game, Coach came in and told us that we knew what we had to do. We were trying to stop a lot of their actions, and our biggest focus for the game was guard the ball. That's what we did, coming out of that timeout and never look back.
And it led to a win. Thank you for your time, Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.